All right, what's good, y'all? Now, recently, the Suns they just beat the Los Angeles Lakers. They beat them bad too, almost by 30. And the thing is, that's the mental component. The person you got to look at the blame is LeBron James. I know what y'all gonna say. Oh, LeBron James doesn't have no help. Without AD, how is he supposed to win? LeBron James is going up against a hurt Chris Paul and Devin Booker. If he's really the greatest ever, which I don't think he is, but if he's really GOAT James, as Shannon Sharp likes to say, then he should be able to beat them without Anthony Davis. And you know what's funny? Every year before the season, they always say this. Oh, we got Dennis Schroeder, we got Caldwell Pope, we got Andre Drummond. We stacked. We stacked. But every time LeBron James loses, he doesn't get any of the blame. You know who the blame goes to? Everybody else on the team. But LeBron, he don't get no blame. I mean, even watching the game last night, dang, it was in the second quarter. I want to say around 4 minutes, 30 seconds, around there. 4 minutes, 30 seconds left. LeBron, he just gave up on his team. LeBron not getting back on defense after he turned the ball over. Or there was a play. It was about 3 minutes left in the second quarter. This man wasted 12 seconds off the shot clock and then passed the ball, passed the ball with 1 second left to his teammate in the corner for his teammate to just jack up a three. Like, what kind of play is that, man? Mind you, it's not like LeBron was just like isoing or cooking. They was forcing LeBron right, and LeBron couldn't beat him right, first of all. He just standing there, dribbling the ball in his right hand, not going anywhere. They're not even running plays. Just him just standing at the top of the key, just dribbling the ball. Or just catch the ball, wait 10 seconds, then pass the ball with 1 second on the shot clock so it don't mess up his field goal percentage. It's little stuff like that. That's why that's why LeBron James is losing this series right now. Which he shouldn't be. If he's considered the best player in the world, he shouldn't be losing this series. But I think that needs to be reevaluated if he ends up losing to the Suns this round. And the thing is, it always goes back to the leader. It starts with the leader, and then everyone else follows. LeBron James showing bad body language, acting like he don't want to play, going to the locker room early. That's why they lost. Because it starts with him first, and he has to take blame for that. There was even an article last season where Rajon Rondo, he challenged LeBron James on correcting his body language. But as you can see now, Rondo's gone. So, anyways, Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman are going to talk about it. Of course, I'm going to come here and in there, here and there. Come in here and there.
Most accountable for the Lakers blowout loss?
Well, I'm going to put most of the onus on LeBron James and Coach Frank Vogel. I mean, listen, it's a game six. It's not a game seven. It's not the end. You know, you don't write the epitaph of LeBron James because of this, because there is a game six, rather, because this was game five. There is a game six, potentially a game seven. So it's not over. But you knew what was
No, I remember that play. That turnover, no, he is not getting back. That man walked back on defense. They played 4 and 5 on that fast break.
stacked against you, particularly with Anthony Davis out. And here you are, you show up. And I know that you made passes and guys weren't shooting open shots. I get all of that.
It's a
Other
bad
times they were
pass.
missing. And I'll let Max get into all of that because there were a few people on the Los Angeles Lakers that were pathetic. They were soft. They were weak. They came across as a team that conceded the game pretty much minutes into it. But LeBron's the leader. And guess what? He didn't look much better. So I'm going to put that on him because it's not just about you scoring your points or whatever. It's you galvanizing the troops and leading in the way that you're supposed to. He didn't do that last night. But the big onus, a bigger onus to me, falls on Coach Frank Vogel. See, this
No, I disagree with that. I have to put the blame on LeBron James. Because every time the going gets tough, LeBron quits. Every time. Oh, maybe, maybe if you want to say that Cleveland Cavaliers series against the Warriors when they were down 3-1, maybe. But if we're being honest, the Cavs just lucked out. Draymond Green really saved his career by getting ejected. When it going against stuff, LeBron James quits. He broke down this game. But that's on him as the leader.
It's moments like this where you get reminded that Frank Vogel wasn't their first choice. He really wasn't their second choice. It's just that because of somewhat of a checkered past against Jason Kidd, he couldn't be the guy that was hired to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Because I'm here to tell you as a point of fact that Jeannie Buss wanted Jason Kidd to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, which is why everybody was contemplating, how long is Frank Vogel going to be there? But props to Frank Vogel, who came in and won the chip last year and had them ready to play in the bubble. But last night, Mr. Vogel, Coach Vogel, where the hell was your defense? I mean,
Good question. I agree with that. Where was their defense? I know y'all are going to say, oh, you're going to bring up LeBron James too hard. No, LeBron plays no defense. I was watching that game too. This man, DeAndre Ayton, I think it was him. This man had a wide open lane to the basket. LeBron James did not rotate over. He just walking on defense. Then on the fast break, Suns going 4-on-2, 4-on-3. Easy buckets, easy layups on the fast break. It's simple stuff like that. Because they're not playing with heart. They're not playing with no effort. So if someone makes a mistake, they just let it happen pretty much. They just let the other team score. They ain't gonna try to correct the mistake.
saw guys running layup lines. We saw guys shooting uncontested, wide open three-point shots. We saw them pushing the ball up the floor and guys not getting back. We saw you put forth a starting five last night that hadn't started together all season long, if I remember correctly. And by the way, where the hell is Montrezl Harrell? Where the hell is he? Okay.
I can assure you, Stephen A. Smith, he wouldn't have done anything. He is not a factor. I saw him play on the Clippers last year. He is not a factor. He might be able to get you 10 points, maybe 12, maybe. That's not a big difference though, because he can't play defense. Montrezl Harrell cannot play defense whatsoever.
Because it's just inexcusable that you haven't found a way to use this dude who's the sixth man of the year. You brought him there. I understand that Andre Drummond is a bigger body. He can play. He was serviceable with his 13 rebounds, 4 offensive. But Montrezl Harrell is an Energizer Bunny. He's a dog, and I mean that in a positive way.
A dog on offense. I don't see that dog in him on defense, though. Sure, I look like a dog, but then get blown by.
He's a dog. Where the hell is he? You got to put him out there. You know Anthony Davis is not reliable. Now, I'm not going to disrespect Anthony Davis because if you injured, you injured. And he's got multiple injuries to the same leg, Max. And I get that. But damn, you got Charles Barkley on the air. I mean, if ever there was a time Charles Barkley was hilarious and made you fall out of your chair, it was last night when he called Anthony Davis street clothes.
Yeah, pull up the. We have his injury history for this season. If we can pull that up.
I mean, that was just hilarious, okay? And I ain't knocking. I don't like to chide Anthony Davis because you injured, and I respect that. But the bottom line is he's an injury.
Golly, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just from this season alone. Growing strain, a jam toe, golly. Man, I thought Kyrie was injury prone. Shoot, look at Anthony Davis.
Prone player. You know this, Frank Vogel. How in the hell do you not prepare the Los Angeles Lakers, particularly your front line, to be able to play without Anthony Davis, at least defensively, at least when it comes to rebounding, at least when it comes to having some kind of interior presence? That's on Frank Vogel. That's on Frank Vogel. Yeah. So I'm just looking at it, Max, and I'll hand it off to you by saying this. LeBron James, listen, it's on the line. I don't want to hear no damn GOAT conversation. It was never an issue with me. I don't want to hear. You better show up in Game 6 and be not just a great player we know you to be, somebody who's worthy of being on a Mount Rushmore. You better galvanize these troops and get these boys ready because your teammates look soft. They look weak. Last night, they just got straight pumped. You down by 30 in the first half.
Let's get Max in here.
That's why.
Nah, but LeBron James got punked too. Can't put that on his teammates. All I hear is excuses with LeBron James, or at least when it comes to his fans. Oh, his teammates didn't help him. He didn't have any hope. Okay. Then Schroeder went 0 for 9? Yeah, I can see that. He went 0 for 9. But it's a little stuff with LeBron James. Man got his head down. Like when you playing good, LeBron, I'm like, yeah, good shot, man, good shot. As soon as you mess up, he'll have his head down. Like, man, why'd you do that? That's the type of person LeBron James is, man. He's not the person to be like, okay, yeah, what you did was stupid, but come on, we still got to keep on playing. That's not what LeBron James is. That's not the type of person he is. Either you do good or you do bad in his eyes. And if you do bad, shoot, he said, screw you.
Happen.
The person most responsible for the loss, and it took a lot of people to have a loss like that. Like, you could say whatever you want. I don't know what happened in the second half of that game. Anyone watching the second half of that game? Everyone was watching Denver and Portland. 20 down, 27 down, 30 points at the half. Get out of here. The person most responsible for the loss is Dennis Schroeder. That's the...
Yes. Yes, Dennis Schroeder, the man that went 0 for 9. Not the best player on the court that gave up on his team. Not the leader. Dennis Schroeder. Okay.
Person most responsible. And I don't want to hear, Stephen A., the particulars about what role needs to be filled now that AD's not playing. It's much simpler than that. Your best player is LeBron. He was able to play. Your second...
No, he was not. It was he's able to turn the ball over all night on offense.
Best player is AD. He couldn't go. Your third best player is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder turned down $84 million because he wants $100 million. He's the third best player on the team. He has to step up and be the second best player. The big question was, okay, Schroeder's better than Rondo in the regular season. We're not in the regular season now. We're in the playoffs, and there's playoff Rondo. What's playoff Schroeder look like? There's no such thing as playoff Schroeder, apparently. Stephen A., here are the numbers.
I'm not even going to lie. A lot of these shots Schroeder took, they were good shots. He just had a terrible game. A lot of those shots he took, they were good shots. There was even a play, Schroeder was open. Or rather, Devin Booker just left him open. He closed out, and Devin Booker just had his hands down. He let him shoot the ball, and Schroeder missed. So Schroeder, he just had a tough game.
Shooter last night.
Offensively, that is.
0 for 9 shooting. 0 for 4 from 3. He had 1 assist and no points. When you needed this dude to step up, he had 0 points. Not in the first quarter, in the game. 0 points.
You gotta see Anthony Davis. Talking about, man, we don't win this championship, I'm out. We'll get past this first round, I'm out.
The first Laker to go scoreless in a playoff game while shooting 9+ shots since the franchise moved to LA. So you can talk to me about Montrezl Harrell and Andre Drummond and how coach should have used them and LeBron not stepping up enough and everything else.
LeBron's the leader. It's on him. When you go to the locker room early, when you turn the ball over and have your head down and don't get back on defense. It's stuff like that. Because it trickles down to the rest of his teammates whenever his attitude isn't vibrant, I guess.
Your wannabe $100 million point guard needed to step up, and he gave you 0 points. He did something that no one has ever done with the Los Angeles Lakers. If you're looking for one guy to blame, Schroeder deserves it most.
Yes, but if we're being honest, Schroeder isn't an all-star. No one has extremely high expectations for Schroeder, if we're being honest. And that's no shade to him, but it's Dennis Schroeder. I mean, you expect like what 14 points a game for him, maybe 15, 16, if you're lucky. You don't expect him to be this all-star caliber player.
Please, please, no disrespect, Max. You're not wrong. I'm not trying to imply that you're wrong with what you're saying about Schroeder himself and his pathetic, weak, impotent performance. You're absolutely right. But it's an absolute joke if you acting like he the cause of what the hell happened last night. You could have a bad game like that from Schroeder and still be a bit more respectable. Understand that we're not here talking about how the Lakers lost a game. If we just talked about how they lost game 5, we dissect how they lost game 5. All right, you roll back to the Staples Center for game 6. This conversation is about a beatdown that took place in Phoenix. A straight up beatdown. They got punked, yo. I mean, these brothers rolled up on the court. Phoenix said, get the.
As you can see, Stephen A. Smith, he going off now. Yeah, it was a beatdown. They gave up in that second quarter. They was not coming back. No one had energy. They didn't even look like they wanted to play, if we're being honest. Lakers did not look like they wanted to be out there on the court. So with that performance, I think tonight they actually might lose. They might lose to the Suns. Unless somehow AD comes back and LeBron just goes freaking game 7, or was it game 6 against the Celtics? It's Terminator mode. Unless like Chris Paul gets hurt again. Maybe D-Book has a bad game. Like I just don't see the Lakers winning. Unless Suns play terrible and Lakers play their best. Anyways, that's it on this one. Peace.